Okay. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of MIndTalk, a safe place where we discuss mental wellness. In this episode, we will be taking a different route. We'll be still staying within the realm of mental wellness. However, I just want to touch on trauma and the way it affects one's mental health. Today I'm joined by Jermaine Jones Palmer, and she has a blog called Her Life Through Her Eyes, which is an interesting journey of her past experiences of a past relationship. And in this relationship, she's been a victim of psychological and physical trauma. Here to tell us more about her experience is Jermaine Jones Palmer. Hi, Jermaine. Thank you for sitting with us. How are you?
I'm okay. Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, Jermaine, so the topic is the effects that trauma causes on the physical and psychological effects that trauma causes on one's mental health. In your blog, you mentioned that a similar type of experience. I just want you to just tell us about that experience.
Um, well, as the blog stated, we began out as friends. We were friends first, and when something is happening, you don't really recognize that it's happening until after it
Mhm.
happens. And I would have indicated the shove, like when he ran down the hill, but it affected me in a way, kind of way, in terms of how I said on the blog. It took me by surprise, but at the time I didn't think that much of it. I just thought this man is a madman,
Mhm. Yeah.
but not really seriously, but kind of, like flippantly, like, what craziness is this? But
So, go ahead.
but as the relationship progressed, and well, those who have read the blog would have seen what happened in the end. It was an escalation. It was an escalation, and sometimes you're so about your business in terms of living, you don't realize
Right.
little things until after it happens. Basically, yeah.
So basically, you experience physical trauma. Did you experience psychological trauma as well?
I wouldn't say much, I wouldn't.
Mm.
I wouldn't. I would say no. It wasn't much psychological trauma. It's just that we were growing apart,
Right.
more or less, and there was that kind of silence between us for a bit. But
Okay.
in terms of talking down or threatening words, no,
Okay. No, nothing like that.
no.
He was more passive.
Yeah, I think
So,
I even within the relationship, we realized it was sliding out of
right.
control. And I think an error that most relationships make is not addressing things as soon as it happens.
Okay. So in all the years that you knew, because in the blog you mentioned that you all were friends before,
Yes, we will.
right? And for years before you got in a relationship,
Yeah, we were friends for a couple of years before we
couple of years before.
ended up in a
So
relationship.
during all that time you knew him, did you ever realize any, well, I know you said in the relationship you didn't pick up on anything, but like being as friends, did you realize any signs that he was capable of any physical abuse?
No, it took me by surprise. I was
Took you by
blindsided.
surprise.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. And in one of your chapters of your blog where you mentioned the first time of him shoving you, right?
hmm
I want you to tell me about the emotional experience that you were going through during that time.
I think because it was a long time, but
Yeah.
we had an argument. I remember we had an argument, and I left. I left because I was by him at the time, so I left the home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was already down the hill because there's a little incline there, and I just felt the person running to me, I just felt
Yeah.
him running to me. And I was like, I can't even remember what happened after that, but it was an event that I remembered,
Do you
you know.
remember what led up to that incident?
Well, we were having an argument,
You
and
were
I
that.
just picked up and left in the
Oh,
middle of the argument. And
yeah.
probably there was more to say. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright. And with regards of your mental health,
Mhm.
how do you think that experience affected you? Jimmy?
I don't know, I think twice in my life that I've gotten upset. Hello?
Yes, yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, but I got so upset that I started to throw up. I don't know. It was the first
Okay.
time that happened to me.
That 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 was the first time that experience
Yeah, it was the
happened to you.
first time. It was the
So,
first time that happened to me. It was a strange thing that happened. I
mhm.
don't know if it's the impact or the scare. I don't I can't put my finger on it, but it's
were
just
you
something that I remembered that happened.
were you going through other emotions? Like were you angry? Were you well you said you were scared, but was that like it was the fright the only emotion you were experiencing during that time? What do you remember?
Yeah, I think it was more a bit alarmed that he will do something like that, like you, but you're not concerned about me being injured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I know you haven't finished with your blog, but I just want to ask you, how do
Mm.
you feel now after experiencing that? How is your mindset now?
I think my mindset is good. I have grown from it. I've
Mm-hmm.
learned a lot from it too. And it wasn't like really continuous abuse. It just was like events, like small events. However, there's a turning point in my blog where I decided that even if it's the first time this happened, I'm not going to allow a next time to happen.
All right, all right. We don't want to give away too much from your blog because I know you still have more to, put in there and shock the viewers because I'm really invested in your blog. It was really a nice journey to, go through. I mean, I'm sorry for the journey,
Yeah.
obviously, but it was a really nice journey. I learned a lot from it. What I just want to mention is that after doing that, we did some research on how, physical abuse could affect your mental health. And one of the main symptoms of that is actually PTSD, right? Which is post-trauma, post PTS. Just
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
yes, yes, my bad. My body, yes. Post-traumatic stress disorder. And that is one of the main symptoms that people who experience physical trauma go through. And, it can cause them to be, really frightened of like places that they've been or places where the trauma occurred. It could even lead into other mental illnesses such as anxiety or even depression. You think you were well, based on what you're telling me, I don't
Mhm.
think, it gotten that serious with you, but do you think that any of those things, like, were you afraid, like when you would hear his name or be somewhere where you were? Anything like that? Did it
No, I
affect
think I was more depressed for a
you?
while.
More depressed?
I was more depressed, yeah, because I was going to work, I wasn't talking much. I was more depressed. And well, we have reached that far in the vlog, so I can talk about it,
Okay, great.
and a friend asked me one day if I'm okay, and that was it. That was it. It was a flood of tears.
All the
And
feelings came out.
all the feelings just rush out like a tsunami. I was holding together, I was keeping a brave face, and that's the thing with abuse. Sometimes you wouldn't even know it's happening because the person is so normal.
Right.
The person is so normal. And, she just asked me, I wonder if I was okay. And she asked me one question, you know,
Mm-hmm.
what are you worth? And I didn't even answer, but I think just her asking me that question, like something changed, something shifted, because it was a little while after the incident happened, and
Right.
it kind of catapulted me into moving away to pulling myself away from this relationship, no matter how much. And that's sometimes what women think about. We have invested all this time in this relationship to start back over. Would we find anybody else?
Mm.
Have that feeling to reinvest yourself and your emotions into relationships. And that none of that at that time when she asked me that, what are my words?
Right.
None of that mattered. All that mattered was my words and how much I valued myself. And that just that one question
Mm-hmm. Made the
made up
change.
my mind for me. It started the turnaround of getting out of the relationship.
That is great. That is great. I would like to congratulate you on that. Right. Well, Jermaine, I want to thank you very much for joining me today. And also, I would like to commend you for being so brave to share your story.
Thank you, Christopher.
No problem. And also, before I want to end this podcast, I just want to share a hotline for anyone who's experiencing domestic violence or know anyone who's experiencing domestic violence. That's the National Domestic Violence Hotline, which is 800 SAVE 800 7283. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of MIndTalk X HER. All right. You'll be able to follow Jermaine's story through her blog, which I will place in the description. I'll place the link of the blog at the description of this podcast. And also I'll place the link to her Instagram page, which is her handle for the Instagram page is her_life capsule. That's right, Jermaine?
That's
Jermaine?
correct.
Yes, okay.
That's
Also, all
correct. Yeah.
right. Also, don't forget to like and share this podcast. Also the Instagram page for MIndTalk, where you can find more information on mental health. So with that, guys, I'd like to thank you for listening. Jermaine, thank you once again, and
Thank you, Chris.
everyone be safe and be happy. Thank you.